Hello. Good morning, Palani.
Good morning, Dr. Palanivel.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sarah, sir.
Welcome, sir. Hey, Basha.
Morning, sir. Morning, sir.
Welcome, Basha. Welcome, Basha. How are you?
Sir, fine, sir. How are you, sir? Sir.
Happy to see you after a very long time again.
Yes, sir. I have also. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, Guna sir also came, sir. I think Guna sir.
Good morning.
Guna sir. Good morning, sir.
Vengachalam join.
Yes, sir. Venkatachalamapati also joined, sir.
How do Venkatach? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kumaresan, how are you?
People will have
Hello, Venkachalam.
Morning, sir.
எப்படி இருக்கீங்க வெங்கடாச்சலம்? நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா? எப்படி இருக்கீங்க வெங்கடாச்சலம்? கேக்குது.
I think our regional director, Dr. S. Subramanian sir, is with us. Very good morning, sir.
Rajkumar.
Rajkumar sound नहीं आ रहा है.
ரூம்குள்ள போய்க்கிறீங்களா?
Venkat, hello? It's audible? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay.
Sir, Kumar sir, good morning, sir. Yes, sir, good morning, sir. Basha here, Venkatachalapati here, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Hi,
Good
Venkat.
morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? How are you, man?
Sir, you?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Kumran, sir.
Fine. I'm very happy to see my
Yes, sir.
students. Fine. Love students. Good. Gautam is also there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you, sir? Yes,
Fine.
yes, sir.
Fine. I got a grandson,
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. You informed, sir. Congrats, sir. Congrats.
Venkat, I am happy.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I'm happy. I'm proud also. Yes. Good, good, good.
Bharathidasan sir, good morning sir. Muthamir, welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Bharathidasan sir and Dr. Muthamil sir.
Good morning, sir. This is American.
Hi, Tamre. Good morning. How are you?
Fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Yes,
Thamaraikanan, welcome.
thank you, sir. Thank you, Sunil, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes.
How are you, sir?
Fine, fine.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Sarath Kumar, are you ready? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Inform to Palani sir. Just.
So good morning to Dr. S. Subramanian sir from CGWB. Very good morning, sir. Welcome to this program, webinar.
Sir.
This is Palanivel from Remote Sensing, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Very good morning.
Welcome, sir. I'm Samandavel. Yes.
Okay, welcome, sir.
Yes.
So shall we start the program or I think our
You can start the program.
yes. Our students are on the way now. They are joining
Okay.
one by one. Meantime, we can start. I think, as you said.
Nearly more than 50 students are here. Okay, we can start.
Yes. So Dr. Balakrishna sir.
Sir,
சார் சொல்லுங்க சார்.
Sir, very good morning.
Subramanian.
Good morning.
Dr. Subramanian. This is Professor Kumanan.
குட் மார்னிங் சார்.
Yeah.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I seen you long back. After that,
Yes, sir.
I could not see.
Yes, sir.
So how are you, sir? Fine?
Fine, sir.
Very good, sir. Very good, sir. Very good, sir. Nayagam, sir. Happy. Good morning. Kumanan, Professor Kumanan.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Fine.
Yeah. Fine, sir.
We could meet only online now.
Yes, 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 sir.
I think I am not in their light. That is why I think people are not able to see me. Turn around. Yeah. Oh, my face will be clear.
Yes, sir. It is clear now. Good morning, Dr. Nayagam, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Program.
Wicket, you can start the program.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
sir. We have a master of ceremony, sir, with our department. One Mr. Sarath Kumar can coordinate this one. Master of ceremony can do. So I will request now Sarath Kumar to start the program.
Yeah, sir. Thank you. Hello, everybody. At the onset, allow me to greet to this wonderful new normal gathering. Good morning and a warm welcome on behalf of School of Tech Sciences, Bharathidasan University, Tiruchirappalli, and CGWB, Central Groundwater Board, Chennai. My name is Sarath Kumar, feeling proud and privileged to be a moderator for this public interactive webinar program on the account of World Water Day 2022. So, to start with, may we all listen to the enchanting of BDU theme song with the ultimate aim of creating a brave new world. So, I request Palanivel sir to present the song. Can we have song, please, sir? Yes, sir. Nothing can be more reassuring and warmth than hearty welcome of words. To propose the formal welcome address and to felicitate the guests, I would like to request Dr. K.Palanivel, sir, Chairperson of School of Sciences and Professor at Department of Emergency in BDU.
Thank you, Sarath Kumar. Respected dignitaries, experts, professors, scientists, research scholars, project staff, students, and other participants from various institutions online. A very good morning to one and all joined in this webinar. I start with Tirukural. வானென்று உலகம் வழங்கி வருதலால் தான் அமிழ்தம் என்று உணரப்பாற்று. The very old saying, Tiruvalva said that water is an elixir because it is available for all the world livelihood. So it is called as elixir. Once again, a warm welcome to all. First of all, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. S. Subramanian, Head, Central Groundwater Board, Southeastern Coastal Region, Chennai, who has been backbone and offered guidance throughout this particular planning of this particular program with his officials nicely. And Dr. A. Balkar, Head of the Department of Remote Sensing, Bharathidasan University, Dr. R. Saktivel, Head of the Department of Geology, Dr. R. Jagan Kumar, Head of the Department of Geography. These three are the schools. These three are the departments under the School of Earth Sciences, and Dr. Sivaramakrishnan from School of Engineering and Technology, and various HODs of other departments of this university, directors of schools and centers, and professor colleagues from our own department, Dr. C. Lakshmanan, Dr. D. Ramesh, Dr. J. Saranavel, who is the coordinator of this particular event, Dr. A. Muttamichelvan, and professors from other departments of Bharathidasan University. Respected founder Professor Dr. S. M. Ramasamy, former HOD Dr. Sachi J. Kumanan, and hydrogeologist, senior scientists from Central Groundwater Board, and scientists from other institutions, and research scholars, project staff, students from various departments of BDU, Bharathidasan University. On behalf of the faculty members of the departments of School of Earth Sciences, Bharathidasan University, once again, I extend a very cordial welcome to all joined this seminar in connection with the World Water Day celebrations of School of Earth Sciences, BDU, and Public Interaction Program of CGWB SESS. I thank everyone for taking the time to join us today for this webinar on Aquifer mapping and management plans for Tiruchirappalli district. I am sure that you will enjoy and share the benefits of this program with all. I am proud to introduce our speakers of this webinar. Just I will say few words about Dr. Mini Chandran, senior geologist, hydrogeologist, scientist, SD cadre, senior person in CGWB, has more than 19 years of service. And I'm also very excited to announce that at this moment that we have another speaker with us who is one of the alumni of our MSc Geoinformatics program, who has completed during 2009 MSc Geoinformatics. Is none other than Mr. G. Venkatachalapati. And Dr. Basha, Sartaj Basha, is also here with us. Is a golden alumnus of this Department of Remote Sensing, who did his MTech in Geological Remote Sensing and Geoinformatics, as well as a PhD in Geological Remote Sensing, under the able guidance of Professor Dr. S. M. Ramasamy, sir, ex-Vice Chancellor of Gandhigram Rural University. For kind information to the experts from CGWB and other experts from other institutions, I would like to introduce our student community who are all participating in this seminar. We have students from 6 batches of 6-year integrated MTech program on geological technology and geoinformatics, and MTech computer science, MTech biotechnology, and MTech geoinformatics program organized by Geography Department, and the MSc Geography students, and 5-year integrated MSc Geology students, and the 2-year post-PG, 2-year PG MSc Geology, and research scholars, PhD research scholars from all these departments, and project staff also joining with us, all available with us. And other students are viewing through YouTube live streaming at the same time. So I hope you will all enjoy this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We indeed feeling privileged to have them among us as team dignitaries. Now, as you mentioned, we have Dr. S. Subramanian, sir, Office Head of CGWB, SESS Chennai. He have devoted 21 years of serving among 3 regions, Raipur, Delhi, and currently at Chennai CGWB. We have Sir has membership in 5 different committees of central government for accessing the natural resources, especially water resources. While the aquifer of Raipur area was polluted with highly hazardous arsenic pollutants, Sir and his team have identified the alternative aquifer water resource for Raipur for the betterment of localities' livelihood. So I request, and it's an immense pleasure to hand over the platform to Dr. S. Subramanian, sir, for the inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning, Dr. K.Palanivel and Kumanan sir, Dr. Balukras and Dr. Saktivel, and our scientist team, Central Groundwater Board. So good morning to all. So today we are assembled here for the public interaction program, which is being conducted to mark the 75th year of independence of India. Actually, Government of India has taken a decision to celebrate the 75th year of independence, that is falling on the coming August 2022. So in this regard, the Government of India has formed a national committee, which is under the chairmanship of Honorable PM and 259 members of Parliament. So the main objective of this scheme is to bring the new India where everybody will have an equal opportunity, and the modern science and technology will play an important role to bring the glory of the India into the international level. Actually, to mark this event, it was decided that 75th week should be celebrated by all the department of the Government of India. So including all the department, that is even postal department also, they are conducting the this 75th year celebration. So it was started on the 12th March 2021, so that the 75th week will be ended on the 15th August 22. So in this angle, we are celebrating the PIP program at various districts. Today we are at the Tiruchi, that our Bharathidasan University. So our main aim is to bring this awareness or sensitize the people about every activity of the Government of India, so that they can aware that technology, what are the technology available in various fields, and they can utilize in a proper manner. That is the motto of that is the vision of this program. And under the water resource, there are strategy has been developed by the Government of India, broadly some 5 to 6 category. The primary is to provide the adequate drinking water to all the people, and second one is to provide the irrigation to all the farmers, and provide the that water to industry, and also to encourage the industry to use the recycled water or treated water. And river rejuvenation, like a Ganga rejuvenation, we have to make all the polluted rivers to be rejuvenated, and create the extra water resources, storage potential we have to create by the artificial recharge and subsurface treatment program. And sixth one is to ensure the sustainability of the sources, not only the drinking water sources, all the surface water also, and to ensure the O&M for the water infrastructure with active participation by the local people. And the final one strategy is to promote the R&D facility to adopt the latest technology in the water sectors. These are the main objective of this 75th Independence Day celebration. So with this aim, we are going to have a today presentation by our scientist team. So about the Tiruchi, they are going to make the presentation. So with this word, I will hand over this session to the Venkatachalapati for the presentation. Thank you. Thank you.
Before we moving on, let me welcome Dr. A. Balkar sir, Head and Academic Coordinator of Department of Remote Sensing, for sharing few words about the preamble of the respected guests. AB sir, over to you.
Dr. Balkar sir. I think Dr. Balkar sir has some problem with internet or something. And
Fine, sir. Fine.
you can proceed now. Yes.
Yes.
Sir, Balkar sir, he's on the line.
Yes, sir. Dr. Balkar sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, sir. It is your turn.
Good morning, all. Sir, you
yes,
are
sir.
hearing. Good morning,
Yes,
all.
sir.
At the outset, I wholeheartedly welcome everyone. This is the second World Water Day celebration in Department of Remote Sensing. The department was founded by Professor Dr. S.M. Ramasamy, whose tireless service will remind us to work more. Professor Dr. Kumanan's contribution to the upgradation of department highly, and who has made this department a renowned one across India. I would like to place on record that we are grateful to both of them for their service to the student community. Professor Dr. Palanivel, former head of the department, was very efficient administrator and an excellent academician who has undertaken more water related projects. We are so honored to have today's distinguished guest speaker, who is a great expertise in this field. I shall briefly read out the mentioned achievement of Dr. Regional Director Subramani Sab. He has done many works in the field of groundwater. He is a hydrogeologist having more than 45 years national and international professional experience in groundwater survey and investigation, and many more. He has worked in various water resource development projects, including World Bank, the Asian Development Bank funded in most of the states of India, and in groundwater and water resource development projects for water supply and irrigation in countries wise Algeria, Bhutan, Maldives, Mongolia, Namibia, Nepal, like that. So as a consultant, he was working as an expert hydrogeologist with the Rail India Technical and the Economics Service of India, like that. He has vast experience. So really, I have to thank the regional director. So We are also honors the young scientist, Mr. G. Venkadachalamudi, Central Groundwater Board. He has also vast knowledge in groundwater field as well as mapping and management. So thank you very much, the scientists from the Central Groundwater Board. Really, I have to thank. So I got chance to thank. So thank you all for your Google Meet to attend this lectures to be delivered by the scientists of CGWD. Now we are very eagerly looking forward to the most insightful speeches. Thank you everyone for the opportunity. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That was really welcoming, sir, and so kind of you. Thank you. Some students are fumbling to enter the Gmeet platform, it seems. So it seems we have reached our participants limit. So I suggest to direct them to the YouTube live streaming. The link is on the invitation also, which has been mailed already to all of you. Moving on to the special lecture on aquifer mapping and management plans in Tiruchirappalli district. So it's going to be carried out by Mr. G. Venkadachalamudi sir and Mrs. Mini Chandran ma'am, senior hydrogeologist at CGWB Chennai. So the platform is all yours, sir.
Thank you, Sarath. I would like. I'm very happy to present this present here at this moment. After long back, I'm interacting with my university professors and my university scholars. And thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. First of all, I'm briefing about that groundwater management in SESS, how they identify the groundwater resource, how they manage. Later, will be followed by the groundwater aquifer mapping and management studies in Tiruchirappalli, and with the interaction session with our senior scientist. தமிழ்லயே கொஞ்சம் சொல்றேன். நீர் மேலாண்மை பத்தி நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் வந்து எப்படி நீர் மேலாண்மை பண்ணாங்க அப்படிங்கறத சங்க இலக்கியங்கள் இருந்து உதாரணங்களை சொல்லி அதை சொல்றேன். Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, Venkadachalamudi. Visible, audible, please proceed.
Okay. நம்ம நீர் மேலாண்மை பத்தி நம்ம இப்ப வந்து எமர்ஜென்ட் டாபிக்கா பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஆனா ஆக்சுவலி பாத்தீங்கன்னா அது இப்ப ரீசென்ட் டாபிக்ல நம்ம வந்து புதுசா எதையும் பண்ணல. நம்ம இன்செஸ்ட் பாத்தீங்கன்னா முன்னோர்கள் பாத்தீங்கன்னா 2000 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடியே அதை பத்தி நீர் மேலாண்மையை கடைபிடிச்சிருக்காங்க. தொல்காப்பியத்துல பாத்தீங்கன்னா நிலம் தீ நீர் வழி விசும்போடு ஐந்தும் கலந்த மயக்கம் உலகம் அப்படிங்கிறாரு. அந்த ஐம்புலன்கள் பஞ்சபூதங்கள் சொல்லுவோம் இல்லைங்களா, அந்த பஞ்சபூதத்துல பாத்தீங்கன்னா நிலம் நீர் தான் முக்கியமானதா சொல்றாரு. திருக்குறள்ல எக்ஸாக்டா 2053 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி அப்பயே வான் சிறப்புங்கிற அதிகாரத்துல கடல் வளத்துக்கு அடுத்த அதிகாரம் வான் சிறப்பு தான். அந்த மழை பெய்யறதை பத்தியும் மழை பெய்யறதை பத்தி சொல்லியிருப்பாரு. மழையோட முக்கியத்துவத்தை பத்தி சொல்லி கடைசியில நீரின்றி அமையாத உலகு அப்படிங்கிறத, நீர் இல்லை அப்படின்னா அந்த உலகத்துல எதுவுமே இல்லை அப்படிங்கிறத சொல்லியிருப்பாரு. நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் பாத்தீங்கன்னா நிலத்தை 5 வகையா பிரிச்சிருக்காங்க. குறிஞ்சி, முல்லை, மருதம், நெய்தல், பாலைன்னு. ஒவ்வொரு நிலத்துக்கும் இன்னொரு வகையான நீர்நிலைகள் இருக்கும். அதை வச்சு எப்படி பாசனம் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது அவங்க இது பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. பரிபாடல பாத்தீங்கன்னா வையை உடைந்த மடையடைத்த கண்ணும் அப்படிங்கிற வைகை ஆற்றுல பெருவெள்ளம் வர நிகழ்ச்சியை சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அது மட்டும் இல்லாம நம்ம வந்து மழையை டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி இல்லாம மழை பெய்யாத தருணங்கள்ல எப்படி மேனேஜ் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக 47 வகையான நீர்நிலைகளை உருவாக்கி இருக்காங்க. ஆறு, குளம், கேணி, இப்ப கண்மாயெல்லாம் சொல்லுவோம் இல்லைங்களா, அதை வச்சு அது மாதிரி 47 வகையான நீர்நிலைகளை அவங்க இது பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. நீரியல் நம்ம இப்ப படிக்கிற ஹைட்ரோலஜிக்கல் சைக்கிள் இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா, அத சங்க காலத்துல மூன்றாம் நூற்றாண்டிலே பட்டினியப்பாளையில உருத்தங்கடனர் சொல்லியிருக்காரு. வான் முகுந்த நீர் மழை பொழிந்த நீர்.
Your presentation is not seen. Your voice only we are hearing.
Okay.
No PPT or other things are coming. Let's share your things. Share.
Now is sharing, sir? I'm sharing the screen.
And but not at.
Not visible. Use this. Whether your PowerPoint is on?
Yes, sir. It's on, sir.
Okay. Now you will click again share screen option and select the PowerPoint screen. Then only it will be visible to all.
Maybe cancel first. Yes,
No, it's good.
yes.
Yes, now it is on.
Okay.
Oh, நம்ம இப்ப சொல்ற ஹைட்ராலஜிக்கல் சைக்கிள் பாத்தீங்கன்னா அப்பவே உடுத்தின் கண்ணார வந்து படைனப்பாளையில சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் வந்து செய்யாததை நம்ம புதுசா செய்யல, என்ன நடுவில் நம்ம ஒரு சில விஷயங்களை மறந்துட்டோம், அவ்வளவுதான். வான்முகந்த நீர் மழை பொழிய, அதாச்சும் வான்முகந்த நீர்னு கடல்ல இருந்து நீர் ஆவியாகி வானத்துல அப்சர்வ் பண்ணது இல்லைங்களா, அதை வான்முகந்த நீர் சொல்றாங்க. அது மழையா பொழியும், மழை பொழிஞ்சு நீர் கடல் பரப்பும் அப்படிங்கிறத சொல்றாங்க. மாறி பெய்யும் பருவம் போல் நீரின்றும் நிலத்தை ஏற்றவும், அதாச்சும் மழை பொய்த்து போனா கூட அந்த நீர் நிலத்துல எப்படி ஏற்றணும் அப்படிங்கறத பத்தி சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. நீர்நிலைகளை பத்தி மட்டும் சொன்னது இல்லாம அதை பாதுகாக்கவும் செஞ்சிருக்காங்க முறையா. வேழைக்கரும்பு, பொறுக்கச்சி. வேழைக்கரும்புன்னு கரும்பு மாதிரியே இருக்க ஒரு நாணல். பொறுக்கச்சி வந்து நாணல் அதை விட கொஞ்சம் சின்னதாக ஏறக்குறைய கரும்பு மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். அந்த நாணல்கள் வேழைக்கரும்பு பாத்தீங்கன்னா குளம், குட்டை, ஏரி இருக்குங்களா, சுத்தி அந்த கரையோர பகுதியில் வச்சிருப்பாங்க. அது பாத்தீங்கன்னா மண் அரிப்பு தடுக்கிறது மட்டும் இல்லாம அந்த நீராவி ஆகிறதையும் குறைச்சு நீர் வளத்தை பாதுகாக்கும். இது மட்டும் இல்லாம காவிரி ஆற்றங்கரையில சுத்தி குளத்தினரை சுத்தி மாமரங்கள் இருந்ததை நற்றிணை பாடல்கள்ல இது சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. நரவு மகிழ் இருக்கை நல்தேர் பெரியன் கலகமிழ் பொறையாறு அண்ணா என் நாள் தோல் நிகழ மரத்தல் அப்படிங்கிற நற்றிணை பாடல்ல சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. இது மட்டும் இல்லாம குளத்தை பாதுகாக்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு ஆலகார போட்டு இது பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. எரிதிரை தோலும் தூவும் சிறுகோட்டு பெருங்குளம் காவலங்கிற அகநானூற்று பாடல்ல அதை பத்தி சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அதுக்கடுத்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா காவிரி ஆற்றுல வெள்ளம் பெருக்கு வரும்போது எப்படியெல்லாம் இருக்கும் அப்படிங்கிறதையும் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. இந்த எப்படி வண்டுகள் வந்து அந்த கரையோரம் இருக்கிற பூக்களை சுத்தி வரும், எப்படி தேன் இது பண்ணியிருக்கோம், அங்க இருக்க விலங்குகள் வந்து எப்படி நீர்நிலைகளை இது பண்ணி யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம், அங்க இருக்க மக்கள் எப்படி இது பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க அப்படிங்கிறது அகநானூற்று பாடல்ல சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. இது மட்டும் இல்லாம பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஆட்டநேதி ஆதிமந்திங்கிற இலக்கியத்துல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஆடிப்பேருக்கு செலிப்ரேட் பண்றோம் இல்லைங்களா, அந்த ஆடிப்பேருக்குல ஆடிப்பேருக்கு அந்த ஆட்டநேதி ஆதிமந்தியை பேஸ் பண்ணி தான், அந்த இலக்கியத்தை பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் ஆடிப்பேருக்கு செலிப்ரேட் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. ஆட்டநேதியோட ஆட்டத்துல மயங்கி காவிரியை வெள்ளப்பெருக்கு அதிகமா உருவாக்கி அதுல அவரோட கலந்துதான் வரலாறு இலக்கியத்துல இது பண்ணி சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அது மட்டும் இல்லாம தென்பெண்ணை வைகை பொருள் நதி தமிழ் கண்டதோர் வைகை பாலாறு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு தமிழ்நாட்டுல என்னைக்குமே நீர்வளத்துல பஞ்சமே இருந்தது இல்லை. நிறைய ஆறுகள் நீர்வளத்தோட தான் இருந்திருக்கு. ஆனா இப்ப சரியா மேனேஜ் பண்ணாததுனால இப்ப ஆறுகள் இருக்க இடமே தெரியாம போயிருக்கு. புறநானூற்று பாடல்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா இதை வந்து ஒரு புலவர் வந்து மழை பெய்யாத ஒரு காலகட்டத்துல ஒரு அரசருக்கு அறிவுரை சொல்லியிருக்காரு, ஒரு அரசன் எப்படி இருக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக. இந்த பாடியவர் பாத்தீங்கன்னா குடப்புலவையனார். பாடப்பட்ட அரசன் வந்து தலையாளங்கானத்து செறிவென்ற பாண்டியன் நெடுஞ்செழியனை பத்தி சொல்லியிருக்காரு. அந்த சமயத்துல மழை பொழிவு இல்லை, வறட்சி இருக்கு, விவசாயம் இல்லை. அப்ப வந்து அரசர்கிட்ட அவர் என்ன சொல்றாரு அப்படின்னா, அந்த பாடல் பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 26 அடி இருக்கும், நம்ம அதை பத்தி ஃபுல்லா சொல்லல. முழுங்க முன்னீர் முழுவதும் மழை அப்படின்னு ஆரம்பிச்சு உணவெனப்படுவது நிலத்தோடு நீரே அப்படின்னு வரும். இதுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா முழுங்க முன்னீர் முழுவதும் கடல் நீர் சுண்டு இந்த உலகத்தை ஒரு அரசனை ஆட்சி பண்ணாலும் அது ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம் இல்லை. அது இல்லாம 1000 ஏக்கர் வந்து புன்சை நிலம், வான பார்த்த பூமி இருந்தாலும் அது பெரிய விஷயம் இல்லை. உணவெனப்படுவது என்னன்னா ஒரு இந்த உடல்ல உயிர் வாழணும் அப்படின்னா உணவு முக்கியம். அந்த உணவு என்ன அப்படின்னா நிலத்தோடு நீர் அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு. அந்த நீரும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா நீரும் நிலனும் புணரியோர் ஈண்டு, நீரை நிலையும் ஏறு விடுதலை பத்தி சொல்றாரு. அதை நீர் ஏறு விடுத்து விவசாயம் பண்ணி உணவாக்கி அதை கொண்டு வர்றதுதான் பெரிய விஷயம் அப்படிங்கிறாரு. அப்படி செய்யற அரசனை தான் மிக சிறந்த அரசனா சொல்லுவாங்க அப்படிங்கிறதையும் சொல்றாரு. இது மட்டும் இல்லாம நீரின் மேலாண்மை பத்தி சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஒரு ஏரி எப்படி இருக்கணும், ஒரு குளம் எப்படி இருக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதையும் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. சிறுபஞ்சுமலம் பாடல்ல குளந்தொட்டு கோடு பதித்து வழி சித்து அப்படிங்கிற பாடல்ல ஒரு குளம் இருக்கணும், அந்த குளத்துல இருந்து நீரோடைகள் இருக்கணும், கோடு பதித்து அப்படின்னா அது கால்வாய்கள் வடிகிற மாதிரி, அங்க இருந்து கிணற்றுக்கு வரணும், கிணற்றுல இருந்து பாசனம் பண்ணணும், அதன் மூலம் விவசாயம் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறத சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஒரு ஏரி எப்படி இருக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறது பாத்தீங்கன்னா பொன்னாற்று பாடல அற்றையும் பொறையும் மனத்தலைய என்னால் திங்கள் அணைய கொடுங்கரை தென்னின் சிறுவம் கீழ்வது மாதோ அப்படிங்கிற பொன்னாற்று பாடல சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஏரியோட நீளம் குறைவா இருக்கணுமா, அதிக கொள்ளளவு கொண்டதா, சிக்கன வடிவமைப்பட 3ஆம் பிறை வடிவத்துல இருக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிருக்காங்க. 3ஆம் பிறை வடிவத்துல இருந்ததான் எல்லா திசைகள்லயும் நீரோட்டம் பாயும் அப்படிங்கிறத பத்தி சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அது மட்டும் இல்லாம பாத்தீங்கன்னா காவிரி ஆற்றங்கரையில வருத்தி கொண்ட வல்லாய் கொடுஞ்சிறை மீது ஆழி கடுநீர் நோக்கி, ஆற்றங்கரையோரம் வர வர ஆற்றங்கரையில வர நீரை அந்த வர நீர் வந்து ஆற்றங்கரையோட இருபக்கமும் பாசன பகுதியில் உருவாக்குற மாதிரியான அமைப்புகளை உருவாக்கி இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. இது உங்களுக்கு எல்லாரும் தெரிஞ்சதுதான். திருச்சி கல்லணையோட பகுதி. கல்லணை கரிகாலசோழனால கட்டப்பட்டது. இந்த கல்லணை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 2 ஆற்று கொள்ளிடத்தையும் காவிரியும் பிடிக்கிற மாதிரி இடத்துல கட்டியிருப்பாங்க. இந்த அந்த பாடல் புறநானூற்று பாடல் சொல்லியிருக்கோம் இல்லைங்களா, ஒரு அரசன் எப்படி முறை தவறு முறை செய்து மன்னன் மக்களுக்கு இறை என்று வைக்கப்படும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க. அந்த குறளுக்கு எடுத்துக்காட்டா அவர் வாழ்ந்திருப்பாரு. அந்த கல்லணையை கட்டி அதன் மூலம் நீர்ப்பாசனத்தை உருவாக்கி இருப்பாங்க. இது மட்டும் இல்லாம பாத்தீங்கன்னா சங்க காலத்துல மதுராந்தகம் ஏரி இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா, அந்த மதுராந்தகம் ஏரியில இருந்து நீர்ப்பாசனம் செஞ்சதை பாத்தீங்கன்னா கடல்ல இருந்து நீர்ப்பாசனம் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க. இலக்கிய சங்க காலத்துல அது மட்டும் இல்லாம மூன்றாம் நூற்றாண்டுல பல்லவ தேசத்தின் மீது புலிகேசி அரசன் படையெடுத்து வராரு. அவர் படையெடுத்து வரும்போது பல்லவ மன்னன் வந்து பல்லவ மன்னனுடைய கோட்டையை முற்றுகையிடுறாரு. முற்றுகையிடும் போது அவருக்கு தேவையான உணவுப் பொருள் கிடைக்கல. என்ன பண்றாருன்னா அவர் கொண்டு வந்த யானைப்படையை வச்சு பாலாற்றம் குறுக்க நிறுத்தி அந்த யானையை வச்சு கிராஸ் பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டு அங்க இருக்க அரசன் கிட்ட உணவுப் பொருளை வாங்கிட்டு அவங்க சப்ளை பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு வராரு. இது இலக்கியத்துல இது பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அயிலூர் கல்வெட்டுல அதை சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. அப்புறம் மகேந்திரவர்மன் என்ன பண்றாரு, வாதாபியும் படையெடுத்து திரும்பவும் வாதாபி கொண்டான பட்டம் பெற்றது, அது வேற விஷயம். இதெல்லாம் எதுக்காக சொல்றோம் அப்படின்னா, நம்ம தமிழ் மாநிலம் நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நீர்வளத்தை சிறப்பாக கையாண்டு இருக்காங்க. ஒரு நாட்டின் வளம் அது நீர்மலை பொறுத்து அமையும் அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம மாநிலத்துக்கு உதாரணமா சொல்லலாம். அப்படிலாம் இருந்தது. ஆனா இப்ப பாத்தீங்கன்னா அது மாதிரி விஷயங்கள்லாம் இல்லை. இது ஏன் அப்படின்னா மக்கள் தொகை பெருக்கம் முத காரணம். இப்ப கடந்த 100 ஆண்டுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா 2 கோடியா இருந்த மக்கள் தொகை 8 கோடியா இருக்கு. மழைப்பொழிவு சரியா இல்ல. நம்பர் ஆஃப் ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி வந்து குறைஞ்சிருக்கு. ஒரு மாசத்துல 15 நாள் மழை பெய்யும் அப்படின்னா இப்ப பாத்தீங்கன்னா 6-7 நாள் தான் அதிகபட்சம். அது இல்லாம ரேபிட் growth ஆஃப் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியலிசம். இப்ப இங்க நமக்கு தேவையான அளவு நமக்கு உற்பத்தி பண்றது போகாம இங்க எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கிறோம். அப்ப வெளிநாட்டில் இருக்க கம்பெனிகள் அங்க இது பண்ணும்போது அவங்க நம்மளோட நீர்வளத்தை யூஸ் பண்ணி அவங்களுக்கு தேவை கொண்டு போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. இதனோட விளைவுகள் என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா டெக்ளைனிங் வாட்டர் ஹெட், வாட்டர் லெவல் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா குறைய ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். என்விரான்மெண்டல் வந்து சுற்றுச்சூழலை மாசுபட ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். சீ வாட்டர் இன்ட்ரூஷன், இப்ப கடலோர பகுதியில் பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஃப்ரெஷ் வாட்டர் அக்விஃபர் பம்பிங் பண்ணும்போது ஹெவி பம்பிங்கால ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா சீ வாட்டர் இன்க்ளூட் ஆக ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். அது மட்டும் அதிகப்படியான வேதிப்பொருட்கள், அதாவது இயற்கை உரங்களை பயன்படுத்தாம வேதி உரங்களை பயன்படுத்துறதுனால கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் பொல்யூஷன் ஆக ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். 1987 பாத்தீங்கன்னா வெறும் 1 லட்சம் டியூப்வெல் தான் இருந்துச்சு. கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ஷன் பாத்தீங்கன்னா ட்ரவுட் 1980களில் தான் கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் அதிகப்படியாக யூஸ் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. அப்போ 1 லட்சமா இருந்த டியூப்வெலோட எண்ணிக்கை இப்ப பாத்தீங்கன்னா 2014 வரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா 2.6 மில்லியன் ஆயிருக்கு. இப்ப 2021 அதை விட இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆயிருக்கும். அது மட்டும் இல்லாம கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் வந்து கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் இஸ் நாட் யூனிஃபார்ம் ஃபார் ஆல் பிளேசஸ். Someone has to identify the groundwater resources. இப்போ கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் சோனை கண்டுபிடிக்கணும் அப்படின்னா மினிமம் ஒரு ட்ரெடிஷனல் மெத்தட்ல ஃபாலோ பண்ணாலும் இல்லை ஜிபிஎஸ் டெக்னிக்ல ஃபாலோ பண்ணாலும் மினிமம் குறைஞ்சபட்சம் 5000 செலவாகும். ஒரு போர்வெல் காஸ்ட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா மினிமம் ஒரு போர்வெல் கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்றதுக்கு மினிமம் 2 lakhல இருந்து 10 lakh ஆகும். இது எல்லாராலையும் சாத்தியம் ஆகாது இல்லைங்களா. ஒரு எந்த இடத்துல கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் பொட்டன்ஷியலா இருக்கும், அதை எப்படி மேனேஜ் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற சொல்றது ஒரு ஆள் வேணும். அதை யாரு செய்யறாங்க அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா சென்ட்ரல் கிரவுண்ட் வாட்டர் போர்டு. Central Groundwater Board is the organization. It is managing, doing exploration and monitoring, assessing the groundwater resources. Now I end up my session and I invite Ms. Manichandran, senior scientist, to continue about the aquifer mapping and management studies in Tiruchirappalli district.
First, let me introduce myself. Then you just be there.
Nice.
So, good morning, one and all. Hearing a lot of your esteemed institution. So, first, let me give a formal introduction of myself. I am Mini Chandran, senior scientist, Central Groundwater Board, Chennai. So I have been here since 2018, and it is my proud privilege to be sharing the platform with such an esteemed cult organization, Bharathidasan University, and that too particularly the Earth Science School of Earth Science. And so this platform we are sharing for dual purposes. One is celebrating the World Water Day 2022, and coupled with our own, as our head of office has already introduced the theme, that is 75 years of independence. And motto of this particular title is that we are focusing on the achievements of the various departments achieved till over a period of 75 years since we achieved independence, and the way forward to place India onto the world map of development. So this is the prime motto of 75 years of independence. And coming to the other motto, that is World Water Day 2022, we know its the theme is groundwater, making the invisible visible. And so what department can better say than remote sensing? Probably that is it's a remote sensing organization, and we are you may be the best organization making invisible visible with your tools. And the latest addition to this tool is the GRACE technology, that is a gravity recovery and climate experiment. These are the technologies that we use to make the resources, that is the invisible resources, visible. And Central Groundwater Board is an apex organization having its prime activities dealing with all these that is bringing the invisible visible to a range of activities, and that I'm going to present before you with specific focus on the aquifer management of Tiruchirappalli district. So I'm just, with your kind permission, I'm going to present the technical inputs that we have. Yeah. So is it is my presentation shared with you?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes,
yeah.
Okay.
So with your kind permission, I'm moving into the presentation. So it is what I have talked about Central Groundwater Board. Already Venkatachalapati and our HO has already given a brief of about the activities of CGWB. Mainly, it is management, exploration, monitoring, assessment, augmentation, and regulation of groundwater resources. That is, those invisible resources, we are making it visible through all these activities. So that's what I rightly said, that CGWB has been long into the race into making this activity in public, so that we are aware about the activities of CGWB and the service that we do to the public regarding groundwater. And Central Groundwater Board, a brief history of Central Groundwater Board. It was established in 1970 by renaming the Exploratory Tubewells Organization under the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. And now it has been merged with the groundwater wing of the geological, no, it was during 1972, it merged with the groundwater wing, and now it has an independent status of under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. And the prime mandate of the organization is to develop and disseminate technologies, monitor and implement national policies for the scientific and sustainable development and management of India's groundwater resources through a series of activities like exploration, assessment, conservation, augmentation, protection from pollution and distribution based on the principles of economic and ecological efficiency and equity. So all these mandates and activities lead to the vision, the fulfillment of vision, that is sustainable development and management of groundwater resources of the country. In simple words, it is water security. So the ultimate aim of all these mandates are to bring about water security in the country. As we all know, the water security are the definition of water security differs from region to region, and that we are going to focus with respect to Tiruchirappalli. So as I've already mentioned, so many activities are there, and right now the key activity of Central Groundwater Board is NACPIM, that is the National Aquifer Mapping and Management Studies. And when we focus on Tamil Nadu, we have conducted NACPIM in basin-wise. That is, the unit for this exercise has been taken as a basin, and Central Groundwater Board has segregated Tamil Nadu into 20 basins and with an area of over 1 lakh square kilometers, that is precisely 1,05,000 square kilometers. And we are the proud region, that is SECR, CGWB SECR. Chennai is a proud region, one of the regions of 2 regions who have completed the exercise. This year, it was the completion of this huge task of 1,05,000 square kilometers. Its inception was in 2012, and over a period of 10 years, we have accomplished this huge task. And the details what are under NACVIM program, I will be discussing in the ensuing slides. And the other activities that pertain to CGWB are micro level groundwater management studies, exploratory drilling program, groundwater regime monitoring. We have 4 seasons in a year, that is during the months of January, May, August, and November. For this, we have a dedicated monitoring network spread all throughout the state, and we carry out this seasonally. And this is the key input parameter for almost all our activities. Though it seems a humble parameter, but this is the window to the invisible resources making visible, right? So I think this is the key parameter that defines all CGWB mandates. Now then, the next prime activity is implementation of demonstrative schemes for artificial recharge and rainwater harvesting of recharge augmentation. And this also I would like to mention that we have successfully carried out some of the demonstrative schemes for artificial recharge, and Tiruchirappalli is a district which is a beneficiary of this a scheme. Actually, subsurface dike had been constructed during the 10th 5-year plan at it is at Avaravali subsurface dike to the tune of 13 lakhs. And so the meaning of demonstrative artificial recharge scheme is that you go for an artificial recharge scheme which we give technical and technical guidance for the implementation of this scheme, and this scheme is after the completion of the scheme, this can be replicated elsewhere. So that is the meaning of demonstrative schemes for artificial recharge. And then we have another challenging task that CGWB carries out now in a periodicity of 2 years, that is periodic assessment of replenishable groundwater resources. So initially it was a 5-year periodicity, but now with the onset of the Ingress software, we have reduced the periodicity to 2 years. And then we have multidisciplinary integration of multidisciplinary studies like geophysical studies, remote sensing, GIS studies, and groundwater modeling studies, which aids in giving out precise documentation of groundwater resources, its development, and primarily the groundwater management interventions proposed for augmenting the resources. Then there are various special studies carried out by CGWB in different areas, in areas of concern, especially in areas of concern, so as to bring out viable management solutions. And then the outreach initiatives that we propose through mass awareness training program. We know that any schemes or any things that we propose will not have its maximum benefit until it is shouldered by the mass. So that is through mass awareness training program. We give awareness that target groups are set, and we give, this is one such, because this itself is a public interaction program. So these are the outreach initiatives of Central Groundwater Board to make it more effective, to make our movement, our technical and other inputs viable. We give this insight outreach initiatives. So these are the major activities of CGWB in a nutshell, because a lot of offshoots are there of these major activities. And then moving on, we can see the outreach initiatives through our web platform. The first one you can see here, it is this is the website where you can get access to our different types of reports. This presentation will be shared with you later on by our the main the key author of this paper, Venkata Chalapati, and he'll be sharing it with you, so you can see the sites wherein it will be useful for you to download various reports that we have generated. That is, that these reports are nothing but the documentation of our important activities of CGWB. And then another thing is that India Water Resources Information System, where you can have access to data related to groundwater, land resources. So many sub titles are here. You can go to this site and download as per your requirement. And then, as I have already mentioned about NACFIM activities, so far we have completed 20 basins, but somehow some of them are still on the pipeline of being accepted through the Chief Secretary of the state. Unless it is accepted, we cannot publish in the domain. So whatever has been approved by the Chief Secretary will be available in this site. You can go and have a look into the activities pertaining to the basins. And then we have even FIRCA-wise assessment. This is a basin-wise assessment. So we have fine-tuned the NACFIM activities to the scale of FIRCA. So you have almost last year we had completed 745 OE and critical FIRCAs, and that has been uploaded in this website. You can go there, and each FIRCA you can get details about the aquifer disposition, the aquifer characteristics, what are the issues pertaining to that particular FIRCA. So such type of downgrading we have done. That is the micro level assessment also we have done, and we have made it public. So this is a huge task. And now this year we have been entrusted with the safe FIRCAs, that is remaining 465 plus minus, and that we are on the almost 350 FIRCAs have been uploaded, with a few remaining. And by the end of this year, that is March 31st, the entire set will be uploaded. So these are the yeah, exactly. And now we the skill development programs, upgrading of skills. If we have in-house training that is meant for CGWB officials, also trainings programs are organized for state departments, for educational institutions. So this is the training institute located at Raipur, Rajiv Gandhi National Groundwater Training and Research Institute. We organize training for a calendar year, which spans from remote sensing, modeling. Then you have induction level training courses. So all sorts of geophysical training. So all the multidisciplinary training programs are arranged over here, which aids in your research activities. So I think this will be a useful piece of information for the university. Then, as I have already said, touched upon NACFIM. Now, what is it basically? It is to identify and map the aquifers at the micro level. So we know in order to manage, so management is the key derivative of this aquifer mapping. And to manage these aquifers, we have to know the aquifers. So knowing the aquifers, its characteristics, through its characteristics, its disposition, spatial and that is spatial disposition, vertical and lateral, all these are done through aquifer mapping exercise, aided by several tools related to hydrogeological, hydrological, geophysical. Then you have exploratory wells, that is both invasive and non-invasive. So all these techniques aid in the aquifer disposition, bringing out the aquifer disposition, and it's a very important parameter in assessing the groundwater resources as well as its management perspective. Through the management perspective, it is very important. So coming to the objectives, to determine the groundwater regime scenario. So So whether that area is water scarce or water abundant. So that is the prime objective, to define the aquifer geometry, type of aquifers and their lateral and vertical extent, to estimate the availability of groundwater resources in the aquifer system. So as I've already mentioned, groundwater resource estimation is something which is the prodigy of CGWB and state groundwater department. We together do this huge challenging task of assessing the groundwater resources. So just think that it is invisible resources, and we are making it visible through this exercise of ours, this Herculean exercise, and to develop a sustainable groundwater management plan. So this is the ultimate derivative of the exercise, that is to develop a sustainable groundwater management plan for the aquifer system, leading to water security, which is the vision of CGWB. Now, this is the approach and methodology. As I have already mentioned, it's an integrated multidisciplinary approach involving geological, geophysical, hydrological, hydrogeological, and hydrogeochemical components. So where do we get these data sets? So that is a $1 million question, because as research scholars, you might have, because I know that in this impressive attendance, we have a considerable pie proportion belonging to research scholars. So getting data is something a nightmarish job for the research students. And so just like that, we being a department, we also find difficulty, but organizations have their own advantages. So we have this geological map layers from GSI, geophysical data through the vertical electrical soundings that we carry out through our in-house and outsourcing activities. And for exploratory drilling that we go for hard rocks, it is a depth of 200 meter, and for sedimentary it is 300 meter that we propose. And hydrological and hydrometeorological data, we get data from state PWD and IMD departments. Drainage, soil and geomorphology, Institute of Remote Sensing, Anna University. So now focusing on to the area of our priority, that is Trichy district aquifer mapping and management plans. I have already mentioned, it is a basin-wise study that we have carried out, and now disintegrating to the district-wise, we will be dealing with it. And for your kind knowledge, this is Kaveri, Lower Kaveri basin that we had covered during the 2016. We had covered this basin, and Trichy area, Trichy district completely falls in part of Kaveri basin, and it is bounded by coordinates east 78 to 79, north 10 degree 17 to 11 degree 25, with an area of 4,407 square kilometers, hosting a population of around 3 million people, and the major rivers named as Kolidam and Kaveri. Of course, Kaveri is the perennial river, so-called perennial river. But it's doubtful now with the developmental activities that are going on, the Kaveri river dispute, which dams most of the water from the source of origin itself. So that's a lot of controversies there, but we know the fate of Kaveri in Trichy. And elevation, it ranges between 40 to 1,400 meter above mean sea level. And these are the district administrative units with 1 corporation, 5 municipalities, 14 town panchayat, and looking into the FIRCAs. This is because FIRCAs are important in NACM, because this is the unit of assessment that we have taken. So we have 43 FIRCAs falling in Trichy district. And moving on. So for any studies, as we know that climate change is another important aspect which controls all aspects related to groundwater. So it is a very important input parameter that goes into NACM studies. And it is climate is tropical climate, being hot and dry for the greater part of the year. March to June is generally hot. Temperature ranges from 20 to 38 degrees Celsius, and this is reflective in our water levels also, as we can see in the pre-monsoon and post-monsoon water levels that we will be showing you. Receives rainfall through both southwest and northeast monsoons. So Tamil Nadu, southern part, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, that is the southern Kerala, are the two states that we are blessed with both the monsoons, though the intensity varies in these states. In a particular point to be noted here in Trichy district is that during 2020, southwest monsoon was there, recorded very heavy rains, like 12 to 20 centimeter per day, and this is a table which shows the distribution of the rainfall, and the red fonted values are the high spots during the year 2020. So you can go through it later on. And this is the digital elevation map, as we can see here. The elevation ranges between 40 to 1,400. So from here, this is that red colored portion. I need not be talking much to remote science experts. The figure itself is self-explanatory. What happened? Okay. So physiography and drainage. So as we know that drainage forms the pulse of a basin, and Trichy district, since it falls in the Kaveri basin, Kaveri forms the river that defines this basin, and in Trichy it has been named as Kaveri and Kollidam, the Kaveri is a major and the only perennial district in river in the district, flowing from west to east, and all the tributaries flows towards Kaveri. River becomes wider with a sandy bed and flows in an eastern direction. So its flow direction is like this. Splits into two at the upper Anaikat, about 14 kilometers west of Tiruchirappalli. The northern branch of the river is called the Kollidam, and it receives water through the floods, while the southern branch retains the name Kaveri, and numerous tributaries draining the district, the prominent ones of which are Ayyar and Uppar in the north and Korayar in the south. And it is mostly structurally controlled. The drainage pattern is structurally controlled and is generally dendritic. What happened? This is not moving. Okay. It's sticky keys probably. So another important parameter or unit that goes into identifying the groundwater potential of an area is geomorphology, and we can see four prominent geomorphological units in the scattered across the district. That is pediments, major pie, that is the pediment zone. Then we have hills and plateaus, mostly on the northern part of the district, and some were sporadically distributed along the southern part, which is indicative of tectonic structural disturbances over this area. You can see linear alignments of the rocks, which are indicators to structural disturbance. And you have alluvial plains and floodplains. Floodplains almost over here and alluvial plains over here. So these are the major geomorphological units identified in the district. What's happening? Oh, here you have to put it. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. Now we have the land use map. As I have already said, these are input data that we receive from the remote sensing department of Anna University. So probably you are also the custodians of these maps. So we can see here from here that these are that is a land use map. This is a graphical representation of the land use categorization. And as we all know that land use depends upon a host of factors like the climate, the soil type and thickness of the soil. Then it depends upon the topography, the slope of the terrain. So all these factors goes into determining the land use pattern of a place. And then when we come, so with this chart, you can see that around 74% of the total district area is occupied by agricultural land. Now, when we move into the cropping pattern, and now cropping pattern is indicated to the irrigation facility that is available. So here we can see that wet crops constitutes around 40%, with plantation nearly 28%. So almost 68% have irrigation facilities in the district, whereas only 27% is occupied by dry crops, which is mainly rain-fed. So all these indicate that the irrigation facilities are having a good stand in the district. So moving on to the soil classification, we have four predominant soils occupying the district: alphy soils, vertisols, insectisols, and entisols. So alphy soils, you can see the pink colored patches over here, all are alphy soils. And the next is vertisols, the light green patches over here. The light blue is entisols. Entisols is nothing but mostly found along the alluvial plains and are of recent origin, whereas alphisols are clay enriched. The name itself suggests that it's aluminum and iron enriched soils. And then coming to vertisols, vertisols are those soil wherein the clay size particle is greater than 30% and develop cracks vertically downwards in the soil profile due to shrinking. And these are not that potential soils when we consider for either for groundwater recharge purposes or for agriculture purposes. These are not so advisable. And alphy soils are the promising soils together with entisols. If it is found along the river plains, it is a potential soil, whereas if it is along the hillsides, isolated hillsides and all, its productivity is questionable. So this is the geological distribution in Trichy district. And we can see that it's predominantly Archean gneissic terrain with charnakites, gneisses, and some intrusions of quartzites found around the southern places. So it's mostly Archean terrain and a small exposure here of the sandstone, Cretaceous sandstone and limestone. And we know it's a very eye-catchy site here, that is Dalmiapuram. Almost all South Indians are familiar. And to this point, I would like to, because I belong to Kerala, I had my education in Kerala, and we had a field visit. So mostly the nearest location that they used to take us is Trichy. So Trichy is something which had been into my mind 2 decades back itself. So even Dalmiapuram is a place that I can always associate, because this was the first such field visit during our college days, where we were taken to the limestone area, and we were taught that this is the site where we extract the raw minerals for the cement manufacturing. So all these things, so Trichy is really a district which has economic significance also. And moving on, sorry. So now coming to the exploratory program of CGWB. So it started way back in 1950s when we had been entrusted with identifying areas with groundwater potential zones. And then we could, during our systematic surveys, and we could understand that there were a lot of potential zones in deep-lying aquifers, that is in the hard rock aquifers. And so the studies continued, and during the 1980s, under the DPAP program, 1984 and 85, there were that is another systematic study was carried out, which led to a drilling of 9 production wells with very high yielding wells of more than 5 LPS, and also we could get 1 artesian well, that is 1 flowing well out of these exploratory wells. That is 9 wells were drilled during 1984 and 1985. And then in 2004, under the DPAP program, that is a drought prone area program, we had constructed around 28 wells to assist the state government in mitigating the drinking water needs, the irrigation needs of the Trichy populace. So this is the series of exploration activities that we had carried out, and we can see that all the exploratory wells have been evenly distributed in the entire Trichy district, and this has been aided by geophysical investigations also, as already Mr. Venkatachalapati had in his introductory speech. He had said that a cost of a drilling exploratory well will mount to like 10 lakhs, but going for geophysical exploration will be like 5,000. So just see the cost difference. So if you have data gap, by looking at the map, we can very well say that there are no data gaps here. But suppose you encounter a region where there is data gap. So instead of going for more of exploratory wells, we can have secondary non-invasive techniques like geophysical techniques, which are cost effective also in identifying the subsurface aquifer units. So we can have those techniques also, which can aid in identifying the fracture zones, and together with this exploratory wells, we will have a real-time data. Now, with this available exploratory wells, so what do we infer from these exploratory wells? First of all, we infer the weathered thickness, which is very important from a farmer's point of view, because we give the depth to which the hard rocks are encountered after the weathered zone. So if suppose you have a weathered zone of 30-meter thickness, so the farmers will get an idea that your dug well may be a maximum depth of 30 meters he needs to go. So if it is a weather thickness is 20 meters, he needs to go for well below that, means within that range. So that is something giving a very good information to the farmers. Even the fracture depths, because if you need to have a sustained yield for the lean periods, farmers nowadays prefer bore wells. So what they would like to know is the depth of the fracture zone, so that they can plan accordingly. They can estimate their expenditure and be prepared for it. For example, if an area is having a shallow fracture, potential shallow fracture zone, you are giving an idea to the farmers that these are the areas. These are the areas, for example, these are the areas having fracture zones at shallower depth, and these are the areas having potential fractures at deeper depth. So people will go for areas over this because that will be having a more shallow depth, which will be cost effective. So people are always on to the cost benefit ratio, and then this will be a very important piece of information to the farmers. So this is the service that we do to the public domain through CGWB activities, especially through exploration. So now another the offshoot of this program is the important aquifer systems in the districts that is we are demarcating, like through the drilling samples. We zero into the exact geology of that area. For example, you have Chanakites over here. That is through exploration activities. We find it out. Granite gneisses, granites, limestones, sandstones, and alluvium. Now, depending upon the aquifer mapping exercise, we divide hard rocks into two units. That is, one is the top weathered aquifer unit, and the second is the second aquifer unit. It's a fractured hard rock formations. These are the two aquifer units that we delineate in hard rocks. Whereas in sedimentary formations, it depends upon whether the formations are separated by a clay impermeable horizon. And in our study area, we have only one aquifer system, which is phreatic, that is, it is alluvium and sandstone falling in this area. So this is a very beautiful depiction of our exploration activities, and it has been created through the Rockworks software. Probably most of us will be knowing about this software. We give the inputs. That's what that differentiation of the units is important. So as I've already mentioned, we have this is the weathered zone. See, just look at this portion. This is the weathered zone. So unless you know the thickness of the weathered zone properly, you cannot bring out this disposition. And just see, this is the fractured horizon, and this is the massive formation on which it rests. And so and then this is you can see it is grading to, this is the divide between the hard rock and the soft rock, and you can see how it is grading into the sedimentary sections. In Trichy, almost, so I have already mentioned that we have done this exercise based on basin, and this is the aquifer disposition of the Kaveri basin, and our district falls over here like this. So it is it's predominantly hard rock or horizons, and we can say that it grades into the sedimentary formations in the neighboring districts. You can see here, this is the clay bed. As I've already mentioned, that we divide the aquifers in sedimentary formations based on the presence of clay bed. So here in Trichy district, we don't have any such clay bed. That is why we have only one aquifer unit. I'm so used to this. Okay. This, where we have to click? Rotate. Okay. So this is something more very much precise 3D picture. So you just change it. Huh? Okay. And this is the 2D profile of that basin. We can see that it goes all along the all across the basin from west to east, and you can see a gradation, that divide. You can see very well a divide between the hard rock and the soft rock. So I can, as I've already mentioned, this is the impermeable layer which has been segregating the aquifers. So here we have two clay layers. So we have aquifer 1 and aquifer 2 here, aquifer 3 here. Whereas in our area we don't have such disintegration. Okay. Why it is not moving like this? Okay. Next section. Okay. So this is another cross section which is totally in the Trichy district across the north, east, southwest section, and you can see that the active hard rock aquifer disposition along this stretch. So it's here you can see that it is quartzite. As I have already mentioned, in the southern portion of Trichy district, we have quartzite intrusions, and then you have the gneissic portion here. That is, this is the gneissic portion, and then this is the fractured charnakite. That is I think the line should be here somewhere like this. No, okay, because the charnakite is this one. It is there. Okay. Yes, exactly. Okay. So this is the charnakite patch observed here, and that is the this is the section of that patch. So it should work from here also. Okay. So that was all about the aquifer disposition. Then moving on to the spatial and temporal distribution of water levels. So for that, the input parameters are the water level. As I've already mentioned, we take 4 times a year the water levels, and for that we have a dedicated set of monitoring wells, and these are the figures that we have maintained in the entire district. That is NHS for NHS monitoring. That is National Hydrographic Station. Now we have renamed it as National Water Monitoring Stations, and it is around 47. And out of that, we have dug wells, that is the phreatic zones, tapping phreatic zones, 39 wells, and 8 deeper wells, that is named as piezometers. It is 8 numbers. So together we have 47 monitoring wells. And then based on these, the data that we collect from these monitoring wells, we spatially plot into the district, and we can see the spatial distribution of the water levels. And you see the nomenclature that we have given is for blue it is 0 to 2. That is some very tiny spots here, and it is mostly indicative of water logging conditions. And as if you recall the drainage pattern of the district, you can see that it is a Kaveri river flowing across this stretch. So we have very shallow water levels over here, followed by 2 to 5 contours, interval contours. And then you can see as we move towards the hilly area, the water levels are reflective of the deeper water levels are there, which is reflective about the terrain conditions, as well as all the host of factors like geology, geomorphology, all such factors play into account. And this is the so this is an overall spatial distribution. Then coming to the January water level. So this is May water level, which we term it as pre-monsoon water level, that is before the rains. Then we go to the January water level, which we term it as post-monsoon, that is after the rains. And we can see that there has been a considerable rise in water level. You can see that the 0 to 2 meter contour interval has made it spread across the district. So it is indicating that the water levels have been recharged, that is, water has been recharged. So the recharge mechanism is going on well. So through these water levels, we can very well interpret that how the recharge is going on in the district. So if you have a very good a pronounced effect in water levels, a rise in water levels, we can say that there is effective recharge. So these are the water levels that we observe in the district. That is, it ranges between 1.15 to 21. So, sorry. So the deepest water level is between 20 to 40, and here you can see these are the patches. Whereas in January, you have limited to only one place, a small area, and that may be due to overdevelopment, because overdevelopment after the monsoons and all, probably there will be a host of reasons. So one of such reason will be overdevelopment. Now we come to the fluctuation. This is not working. So this is we have taken 4 such maps here. One is a yearly fluctuation map, that is with respect to August and November and January. That is August 2019 with respect to August 2020, November 2019 with respect to 2020, January 2020 with respect to January 2021. So here you can see that all the blue patches are indicative of rise in water level. So when you compare it with 2019 and when we compare it with 2020, we can say that there is a rise, though it is the same period. So it is reflective of either an increase in rainfall, a better recharge, or some recharge mechanisms have been, interventions have been provided so that more of recharge has taken place, and there is that is reflective in the increase in water levels, because it's for the same period. That is, we are comparing with the water levels of August 2019 with respect to 2020. So a host of interpretations can be made out of this figure. Now coming to November, as I have already mentioned, it's the post-monsoon water levels, and just see that that there is not much rise when compared with 2019 and 2020. You can see that water levels have there is a fall in water level. So this is nothing, because we know that rains are there during both these seasons, 2019 and 2020. Either it will be due to overdevelopment during that particular year. So that is why we have a fall in water levels. And then coming to January, sorry, this is not post-monsoon, this is the post-monsoon phenomena. I'm sorry, just pardon this. This is also, we take it as pre-monsoon only, but after January only we take it as post-monsoon. So here it is, that is, it's mostly rise in water level. And now coming to the decadal trend, that is, what is the fluctuation when we compare January water level with a whole set of data of 10 years. So we have taken for the post-monsoon values, and we can see it is a disturbing fact. That is, over a period of 10 years, we are mostly observing fall in water levels. You can see this red patch, and all these areas have recorded a fall of almost 4 meter fall in water level, and only the blue patches, this patchy occurrences of blue color, is indicative of rise. So this is a very disturbing factor, and that is why our management interventions are very crucial at this juncture. Now, water security has 2 offshoots, as I have already mentioned. We were dealing with the quantity issues. Now coming to quality, because water security, unless it is quality, unless it is a good quality water, we cannot say that that area is water secure. So when we moved into when we move into Trichy district, there are areas which have high EC values, high nitrate values, and high fluoride values. So these are the areas which show that high EC values, and one particular location is there, that is Pullambadi. This is a area Pullambadi where you have observed around 5,640 microsiemens per cm of EC, and then around 25% of water samples analyzed had EC more than 2000, that is 2000, almost above 2000, 2500. So that is the EC range. Around 25% of samples showed this value. And then we have high nitrate values in Pullivalam, and that is actually it is over here, which is indicative because this is an agricultural tract, because it is mostly located near the riparians of this Kaveri river. And so here we have nitrate, high hotspot nitrate values, which is indicative to anthropogenic effects, or mostly because of agricultural fertilizer contributed by fertilizers. And then there are two locations, Vayyempatti and Pengakudi. Pardon if my pronunciation is not proper, the Tamil places. It is Vayyempatti and Pengakudi with almost bordering the fluoride limit, upper limit, that is 1.50. And these are the two locations. So these are the quality issues that we have come across in Trichy district. Okay, now as I have told, the prodigy of CGWB and State Groundwater Department, that is resource estimation. First we will move into the groundwater issues, as I've already mentioned about the quality issues and quality issues, overexploitation and declining groundwater levels. Poor aquifers, massive and compact formations because of heavy groundwater withdrawal. And then we say that Kaveri is perennial, it's almost accepted, but is it so now? So that is a very questionable matter. And then we have rampant sand mining in the floodplains, which are mostly they are illegal also. I have almost some examples of illegal sand mining that has been detrimental to the groundwater scenario of that region. So all these are the issues related to quantity, and these are the groundwater issues pertaining quality wise. So that I have already covered. This is working now, I think. Okay. So after then now moving on to the important exercise, that is groundwater resource estimation. Before moving into it, we have some defining terms in this resource estimation. The most important one is the annual extractable groundwater recharge. So this is nothing but the water available in the dynamic zone of the area. That is dynamic zone means the zone of water level fluctuation. So I have already shown spatial distribution of our water level fluctuation. That is the difference between the pre-monsoon and the post-monsoon water levels. So that is the particular zone which is termed as dynamic zone, and the water available in that dynamic zone, calculated in that dynamic zone, is referred to as the annual extractable groundwater recharge. So below that also you have groundwater, but you are not allowed to tap that resources, because that is all static resources which is meant to be treated as reserves, so that you are not allowed to tap into. So only the dynamic resources have been calculated so far, and this is the terminology used for it. And for Trichy district, it is around 667 MCM. So that is, this is the hectometer unit, its value. And out of that, how much we are using it. That is for irrigation, it is 527 MCM. For industrial alone, it is 1.52 MCM. And when we club it with domestic and industrial use, it is around 500 MCM. So almost irrigation and domestic and industrial use are 50-50. So the total extraction amounts to like 579 MCM. So the stage of development, that is stage of groundwater extraction, which is expressed as percentage, is nothing but the ratio between the extraction and the available resources. So we can say that Trichy district as a whole, if you see, it is safe. Safe in the sense that it is below 100. I'm sorry, it is critical because it has moved from 8 semi-critical, right? Semi-critical. Between 80 to 90, there are nomenclatures like if it is between 90 to 100, it is critical. Above 100, it is overexploited. And between 80 to 90, it is 70 to 80, it is semi-critical. Okay, below 70 only we treat it as safe. So here in Trichy district, we have categorized Trichy district as semi-critical. So there is as we can see now that we feel that it is out of danger, means away from danger zone, but it won't be far enough before we move into the overexploited category, that is above 100%. So unless and until we bring about some urgent management interventions. Okay, so as I've already mentioned, we have 43 FIRCAs we have categorized, and out of that, we have 17 overexploited, 1 critical. That is, together we have vulnerable FIRCAs are 18, wherein we have to put some management interventions. Then we have 8 semi-critical and 17 safe FIRCAs. So for safe FIRCAs, we need not put any management interventions because here already the groundwater resources are promising. Whereas in critical and overexploited, we have to implement some management interventions. So that forms the management portion of the NACWIN studies. Okay. So in NACWIN study, in management interventions, we have 2 bifurcation. That is, one is supply side intervention and a demand side intervention. Supply side intervention is nothing but we are increasing our resources through artificial recharge methods. And these are the methods that we adopt and we suggest in this district. That is around 85 check dams, 257 nala bends, 436 recharge shaft, and recharge shaft with revival 610. So all these are the structures that we have proposed in Trichy district, and these are the geocoded structures in the district that we have done. This exercise has been done during the NACWIN activity, and this has been presented. Yeah. Any question? Okay. So these are the geotagged locations, and this has been presented before the SGWCC, that is State Groundwater Committee meeting, and they have approved the sites, and it is up to the State Department to be implementing these structures during their plan proposals. And based on this, what we figure out the volume of water that we are going to recharge the district as a whole, that is in storage, is increased by 27 MCM. So out of the available some 600 MCM, we are increasing the resources to a figure of 27 MCM by these proposed artificial recharge structures. And not only that, we propose for a desilting of water bodies, and we have geocoded water bodies in our data bank, and that is a very useful figure that can be taken use of for planning proposals in desilting the tanks, which can lead to an increase in storage capacity. Then again, we propose water from roof of buildings to be recharged to groundwater, rooftop rainwater harvesting, particularly in Trichy Corporation. This is the best suited strategy that we can adopt so as to supplement the water supply schemes in the corporation. Then we can use unused dug well and bore wells to be recharged, adopted as a recharge well. And coming to the demand side interventions. So in demand side intervention, so now we said that we have increased our resources, right? So if we don't put a check on the development of that resources, because people have a very easygoing way of using which is surplus, but without conserving it for the future. So the demand side intervention has its own weightage in maintaining that promising scenario. So through demand side interventions, what we propose is that instead of the conventional irrigation methods, that is water flooding used for water intensive crops. We can, for example, for paddy, what we suggest is go for SRI techniques, which is system rise intensification or ridge and furrow methods. And for other, that is banana and sugarcane, go for drip irrigation. And in Trichy district, we have calculated the area also which can adopt these hauled techniques. That is, SRI techniques can be adopted for around 268 26,872 hectares of land, and 6,776 hectares of land can be irrigated with drip irrigation method. So by adopting this irrigation method, so what we aim is to save water, and through these the interventions we can save around 120 mcm can be conserved in the aquifer. So when we compare supply side and demand side interventions, the most economic or the most feasible technique will be the demand side intervention, because promising technique, because you are saving around 120 mcm, which is way above than the supply side interventions. So because you have supply side as 27, and just see the proportion, means increase in demand side intervention, that is 120 mcm. So by integrating the supply side and demand side interventions, we can arrive at a reduced stage of groundwater, because as I have already mentioned, it was 89% that was the stage of extraction. So by providing these intervention techniques, we can move into that safe zone, just 1% short of the safe zone, that is 71%. So these are this is the ultimate derivative of our NACM exercise. And some of the interaction programs, through some of the interaction programs, farmers had opined that filling of existing surface water helps in farming, and as well as groundwater recharge. It can sustain for 2 to 3 years for agricultural purposes. Dilution due to recharge reduces groundwater contamination. Then, so these are the things that we have obtained from interacting sections. So these are the before that one is there. No, this one. So the final recommendations that we like to put forward is wasteland development program and micro irrigation system are to be implemented. Implementation of rainwater harvesting and preventing runoff by means of removal of encroachments in and around the tanks. Construction of recharge pits and shafts. To combat drinking water problems, construct rainwater storage sumps in each house positively. Promote public awareness on importance of preservation and management of groundwater resources through communication media. So the last point, this is the most important intervention, as I feel so, because unless public are aware, no schemes can have its desired effects. So because I mentioned this in the light of the National Water Awards that have been instituted by Central Groundwater, central government, and Tamil Nadu since last 2 years have been the proud recipients of National Water Award through the People's Movement in getting the saving the water resources, going out for more of recharge activities, then the demand side, involving in the demand side management, that is using less of water through cost-effective irrigation methods, and all these together have been recognized by the central government. And last year, that is 2019-2020, in Thoothukudi district, one Sastavinallur village was the proud recipient. And this year, it is Madurai Corporation in urban areas. They have backed the award, and the prize ceremony will be very shortly held. You will be knowing about the details and all. So these are the things that have been monitored, and these National Water Awards are based on the validation provided by the central government officers visiting that place. So we also play a very important role in validating the management interventions, bringing into the limelight of national level. So these are the most important activities, and I believe that, and I hope that in the future, Trichy also back that award. Thank you. Thanking you. So now the discussion, the presentation is open for discussion.
Thank you very much, Madam Dr. Chandran and Venkadachalamudi. Both have done an excellent presentation.
Thank you.
You have explained everything, nook and corner of all the water sources, prospecting, exploitation, or exploration. Everything you have dealt nicely. I think all the participants are have enjoyed your lecture.
Thank you.
Let us expect more questions from our participants.
Yes.
I saw that there are more than 260 plus participants are attending this program.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So I think water is taken seriously.
Right, ma'am. Right. You are right. I request all the participants now to interact with these experts. I request all our students, please do interaction.
Feel
Yes.
free to ask any question.
From my side, as ALC, thank you so much, Sir Venkat Sir, Excel alumni of DRS. It is very relatable with your own, our own Tamil literature. All your quotes and highlights of really brought the real essence of water importance. And ma'am, Mrs. Mini Chandran ma'am, thank you so much for the Intel preface about the services of CGWB and the water security and the detailed profile of aquifers of Tiruchirappalli and the relatable attributes towards it. Thank you so much. That was really a bunch of scientific zeal. I hope the aqua science enthusiasts got their jaw-dropping efficiency to pursue their new discoveries. Now it is open for all the students and attendees out there for the discussion on the concerned discipline. Hope the guest scientists are also ready to decode our queries.
Now the participants can put on their mic and they can speak.
Otherwise, they can also text the question.
Right, through chat box, right?
Chat
Yes.
box also. You can
Also,
text
you
the
can
question.
express your queries or doubts if any clarifications there. Please put on the chat box if any.
Because some chat boxes I have seen, earlier messages. Feel free to question me, our professionals here. Lot of you can mail also your queries in chat box. Also you can put in. So we will have an interaction. I believe we can answer all your queries.
Can you please give your email ID, madam, through chat box so that students can make use of that?
Okay. Oh, yours. Yes.
There is a question by Dr. Saranavil.
Okay. How the recharge
estimation has been done?
Yes. Actually, it is a very simple formula, but then behind that, a lot of exercise is there. It's actually water level fluctuation that I have told now. That is the difference between the pre-monsoon and post-monsoon water levels into the area of the assessment unit, into the specific yield of that area. That is, it depends upon the formation. For hard rocks, it is like 0.015, and for sedimentary, it will vary. It will be a higher value, like 0.15 to 0.20. It varies. So it depends upon the formation that you encounter, and the product of these three parameters gives you the recharge of that particular area.
Madam, how to derive that constant value, madam? 0.15. That
is first of all we have ad hoc values, right? So that we follow. But if you are having site-specific values through field surveys and field activities, you can use that. But mostly we use ad hoc norms. Values from ad hoc norms.
So thanks.
Then one observation from your PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, sir.
That I saw there is an alignment of these polluted spots.
Yes, sir.
It seems almost around northeast to southwest, at the middle of Trichy. I saw the points are located along this particular line, northeast to southwest line. That I simply I wanted to just see that. Do you find any relevance with this particular effect with the tectonic effect? Because our professor S.M. Ramasamy and his team, the professor have identified there is a graben, two faults, parallel faults are running across that particular area. And the water level seems to be very deeper, and it is centripetal type of water level, and having lot of materials concentration in that particular graben area, which is aligned northeast to southwest. That is always similar to your pollution points what you have shown in a particular map.
Okay. So in our department, we have not focused on such activities. So we have just, because what is the reason for that, exact reason, or that linear alignment and all, we have just reported the groundwater quality issues. And I think special studies will be taken on the request of departments like your side. We can take up special studies. That is the thing that we can assure. And before, apart from that, our basic purpose is to report the values and then interpret it with our NACTIM exercises, right? So this remote sensing aspects and all, we don't deal much in our department. So I think Venkata Chalapati will be knowing more on remote sensing. I may not be to the point, but from resisting, what are the other geophysical methods used? Yes. So we have a dedicated team of geophysicists. Dr. A. Muttumil Selvan has asked that apart from resistivity method, what are the other geophysical methods you use for groundwater exploration? Other groundwater geophysical. The TEM is there. That is a transient electronic method. Just Dr. A. Muttumil Selvan. We will be calling in Arul Prakash sir for explaining this. Arul Prakash sir is there and online.
Sir, Professor Palanivel, sir, may I contribute something?
Please, sir, please.
In CGWB, earlier we have utilized seismic surveys and then VLF, very low frequency. All these methods we have adopted. And after, during the some 20 years before, there was some SIDA project, Swedish International Development Agency aided project. So we found that electrical resistivity method is among the all other methods. And that was more realistic. And now CGWB is concentrating with this resistivity methods. Now recently we have acquired TEM, transient electromagnetic surveys. These instruments now last 2 years we are using. That performance of that we are yet to finally bring out. There is some lacuna in identifying the deeper this one layers. So those things probably our geophysicists will be able to explain more. So these things you can interact further. Then another thing regarding some studies on that Gaiban, that Hassan graben structures. Regarding that, you can put up some proposals so that CGWB, because we have completed our NACIM, now we will concentrate on the more special studies, on elaborate studies. So we can take up the further studies. Hopefully, with collaboration with the university also, we can also involve. So your students also will be benefited. We can take up those things.
That's nice to hear from you, sir. Thank you so much, and definitely we should go further. Signing MOU and all several other collaborative projects we can do. Jointly, we can go together. Thank you so much, sir, for your useful information. Thank you, sir.
So we are expecting more from the students. You can actively participate. Some of our students are doing projects on the water resources and other things. You can ask anything. they are readily available here. This is a time to you can clarify your doubt. Sir, I used to ask one thing. Whether these such data can be shareable with our students for further research and other type of activities.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, the data is already we are hosting in websites and CGWB website, whatever Aquifer mapping we have studied, we have brought out in the form of report and we are publishing it in the website.
Okay, sir. Thank
So
you.
data will be available and then in very soon you will be getting our water level and water quality, what we are monitoring wells. We are having monitoring wells, 1,300 monitoring wells throughout Tamil Nadu we are having. These data we are acquiring every 4 times a year. This data also now we are putting in the website so that people, students need not approach us for getting the data. They can take the data straight from the website itself. Now and then there are some problems in the acquiring some data. In such cases, they can directly come to us. And another thing is we are going to install DWLS, digital water level recorders, in around 600 wells we are going to do this year. Once it comes, it will be a very boon for our hydrologic community because we'll have a wealth of data. It will be easily accessible and we'll be getting it soon.
Okay, so thank you very much, sir. This is a very good information for all the students and all the research communities. Okay, so thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I think if there is no question, shall we proceed further to
Yes, sir.
the next agenda? Madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am, sir. Yes, sir. I think Dr. Kumaran sir is available now, sir.
Yeah.
Please,
of course. So I have a very little to say. I thank both the speakers, particularly the madam who has taken a lot of effort. And I am really proud. My student Venkat,
yes, sir. It's
has
only
come in front of me and presented the data. And that too, we had a culture of giving them a lot of seminars. By that way, they have developed an art of speaking. So that is very important. We do a lot of work, but at the same time, we are not able to sell ourselves. That way, I am very happy that Venkat could speak out today and try to give his ideas and whatever the surveys they have done in the groundwater survey. And I am really proud to be associated with the Central Groundwater Board because I was originally from GSI, Geological Survey of India. So that time I used to have a lot of interaction with your directors, particularly your senior directors. So I am really happy that my younger colleagues, students have got a lot of information, particularly about their area where they are studying their course, particularly Trichy district. Very informative, particularly about that fault and the Graben problem that we have to have a lot of discussion. That I will ask Dr. Palanivel and Dr. Saranavel. Of course, Saranavel is working particularly on the tectonic models for the entire Tamil Nadu. So he will be the right person. I will also ask him to interact with the CGWB to further work on the particularly what is the real effect of the two faults. One along that this one too, which is running almost in the northeast southwest, where your anomaly also there. So we will also work on that one. So for that you have given a good hope also. We will go for a joint venture and try to do a lot of work. So extend your cooperation to our Center for Monsoons, particularly for the Earth Science Department for carrying out further studies. So I thank you once again, the CGWB, in coming in a big way to help our younger colleagues, students, particularly the younger colleague students. We'll have some idea now at least where to think of, which area to work on that. And also the data are available on plenty, particularly in your website, I know very well. They should try to use those data and work on that. And the guides are there, definitely proper guides are available in our Earth Science Department. Definitely they will do, sir. Once again, I take an opportunity to thank both the speaker and the Central Groundwater Board for giving the opportunity to our students to listen from the real workers in the ground level. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
So
sir.
thank you, sir. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Basha has anything to say?
Sir, good afternoon, sir. It is a great opportunity, sir, to participate in this PAP program. So that these are all what you said. These sweet memories from my college, sir, and my gurus, all my sars are all there. So in front of all, sir, and Palanivel sir has given a golden opportunity. So thank you very much, sir. So for that, and we are always remember, sir, Munan sir, Professor sir. All are we always remember, sir. While morning open, sir, I just remember you, sir. Always daily, and it is very happy, sir. I see you in this PAP program, sir. And another thing, sir, Venkatachalapati also is a very nice presentation done, sir. And Madam Minichandran, Madam, also excellent, sir. Yes, sir. With this, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Basha.
Okay, Smriti Reha Sahu from Odisha is since watching all the program since the morning. Reha Sahu want to speak something? You are since morning, you continuously watching from Odisha.
Actually, I would like to intervene here. I have a sweet association with Odisha. I have been born and brought up in Odisha, so those the person who is sitting there can freely interact with me.
Okay, okay.
Meantime, there is one more question from Sarath Kumar, madam.
Oh, Smriti Rekha Sahu. Okay, okay, fine.
Yes,
So, yes,
Smriti
so that particular information. Cloud seeding. Should we go for that? Well, that is something a technological innovative method, technological intervention, and we are not the people into cloud seeding. Okay, that things can be. I am not. We are not authoritative enough to answer that question. Cloud seeding. So our own efforts can go without cloud seeding. We can bring in rains, right? So that will be a better option. I don't have any opinion about cloud seeding. You have anything? Nagam sir, Nagam sir, Nagam sir. So can do you have any comment on cloud seeding? To change
Cloud seeding.
Yes, because we are a department which we don't deal with it. So
Yeah. That is only meteorology
we are not
department.
authoritative enough to comment on that question. Okay.
Yeah.
Is what I feel. Can you put something into that, sir?
Yeah, we are. Actually, as you told, cloud seeding. Regarding cloud seeding, we don't have any information in our office department. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And before answering a question from Tahira, Dr. Smriti Rekha is online.
Yes. Okay.
Dr. Smriti Rekha.
Very good afternoon to all. Thank you so much, madam, for such a nice talk on groundwater over Trichy area. It is really interesting, the topic was, and the presentation was really helpful for all the students of the department, and for me also it is really interesting. Thank you, Palanivel sir, Harman sir, and arranging such a nice webinar on groundwater. So really, I look forward to be in touch with madam and this related talk and presentation and related work.
Sure.
So thank you so much. Thank you, madam.
Sure. Thank you. We'll have in touch. So you are welcome.
So thank you, Rekha, for making this event as a national event because you are coming from Orissa.
And madam, Ms. Tahira is having one question.
Yes. So artificial recharge, how successful is it in water scarce areas? Right. So as I've already mentioned, I told you about community participation also regarding artificial. We propose check dams, then recharge shafts along certain vulnerable areas, and we bring out the water that can be recharged into the aquifers. But the thing is whether we sustain the efforts. That is a $1 million question. So you implement the recharge interventions like check dams and all, make it work, function, and then leave it. So that will not serve the purpose. So unless the sustained efforts are there, then only we can say that that particular artificial recharge structure is doing it's serving its purpose or not. So for that, I would like to suggest that you have a what is that? What do you say that after that implementation? I forgot that term.
Impact assessment.
Yeah, exactly. Impact assessment. Yeah. So you have impact assessment studies not for a particular year, means for the ensuing year. Just continue it so that we can understand whether the efficiency of the structure is maintained or not. So what do we observe normally is that you leave it and then blame the structure or the technical interventions that we propose that it is not giving the desired effects. But we have to be having a consistent check on the efficiency of the structure through the different activities of the state government, and maintain this efficiency throughout the period for which you are proposing the efficiency of that structure. Then definitely there will be a success story that we can bring out through these recharge structures. So what we mostly observe is that we are not particular about the maintaining that efficiency of the structure, and that is reflecting in the bad state of affairs. Otherwise, definitely it will be improving the water level situation. And as I've already mentioned, we have been in limelight, national limelight, because of the recharge interventions that have been proposed. And as you know, Thoothukudi district is a water scarce area, and there a village has got a water award. So that is itself testimony to the success stories. Okay, so it is successful. Have I answered your question, Tahira?
Tahira can put on your mic and please talk. She is responding through chat box, ma'am, and she is also asking one more question.
Yeah, exactly. Sustainable techniques. Are we doing it? No, central government is not dealing with sustainability of that particular structures, because we are only proposing interventions. It is up to the State Department that they implement the interventions and maintain its sustainability. So it is all dependent upon the state governments. That is why our outreach initiatives are through the up to the state government with project proposals with our this one, and then it is up to the State Department that it carries forward. Of course, there are a lot of hurdles in bringing it into ground realities, but what we do as a Apex organization, this is our duty to bring it into documentation and proposal forms, aiding proposals, state departments. We aid state departments in proposals. That's all. Any more questions? Because these are some interesting questions.
Like Tahira, we are inviting more students.
Yes, exactly. Chat box is a very convenient for, yeah. I think I'm not that intimidating. I feel like we both are taken to that intimidation section. Okay, that is why people are hesitant in interacting. We are all like you people coming through research organizations and reach this platform just because we could share our ideas to research scholars that they benefit from us. Okay, so you have that opportunity, make right use of the opportunity. So I think that's it.
Okay, Palani sir, this is the time to.
Yes, I think Sarathkumar can.
Yes, sir.
Sarathkumar.
Yes, sir. All is well, the time is well. From my side, the hearty thanks to all of the professors, presenters, excellence, intellectuals, guest lecturers, scholars, and students for the presence and cooperation. And I would like to welcome the representative of the CGWB for proposing the vote of thanks formally. I think Miniman is ready for that.
Okay, I just need to write down the names. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
First of all, I thank for my head officer, Dr. Subramanian sir, for giving this wonderful opportunity for presenting this PAP program, and for Dr. Balukar sir, head of the office, head of the department, Center for Emergency, Department of Emergency, Bharathidasan University, for this accepting the presentation, accepting for this program, and to Dr. Palanivel sir for giving this wonderful opportunity and his moral supports. And he did all these efforts. Without his effort, it's not at all possible to complete this program. And to all the department staffs and to our faculties and my friends and Dr. Sadaj Basha sir, and for everyone. Thank you so much, sir.
Just right before I say.
Thank you, sir. I hope this webinar gives you.
Just before my
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, ma'am.
I would
Go
like
on.
to personally thank Dr. Palanivel Velu sir for giving us this opportunity to be interacting with the students, the elite faculty members. So it was wonderful interacting with you, and you have kindly accepted and interacted with our program. That is very kind of you, sir. And from me, on behalf of the department, I sincerely give my grateful acknowledgement for the forum that you have provided, and hope that we have associations in future. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And I thank all the CGWB scientists, including Nayagan, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Further, this program always available with YouTube. Whenever want, the students can refer it.
Yes, sir. So in future, it will be available in offline too, sir. Because of this COVID-19 only, we are organizing online. Next year, probably it will be in offline only, sir. So we can interact.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, glad to be have association with your people, and hope this webinar helps you to get some geological acknowledgements and fruitful information as well. I request the students participants to provide their valuable feedbacks about the webinar by clicking the link which was already in the chat box. And you also find the feedback and its apparent QR code on the invitation which has been already mailed to you all. So please do fill that to get your participation certificate. Thank you all. Thanks again.
We have 200 participants.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Venkat.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for excellent.
Thank you very much.
Yes, go, sir. Come on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So I want to thank sincere thanks, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Smriti. How are you? Fine. I'm happy to see you. Yeah. So, good.
Excellent feedback, sir.
Yeah. Very good.
Thank you, sir. We are
Venkat, keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Keep our centers. Okay, good. Okay. That is another madam. Our madam is there, no? CDF
Yes,
madam.
No.
The other, our Center for Remote Sensing madam. I forgot her name.
Vijay Lakshmi, sir.
No.
Not Vijay.
Basha? But the another name I am forgetting. She was there in GWB.
Yes, sir. Yes.
She is from our Center for Remote Sensing. Yeah.
Dayabalar, madam.
She is from Vilupuram, Dindivanam.
Yeah.
Now she is in Bangalore, sir.
Bangalore. What is her name?
Dayamalar, sir.
Yes. Dayamalar. Yeah. She is in Bangalore. Okay. She's fine. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your support.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.